Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to our YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Please feel free to write to me at walkwithtak@gmail.com if you have any question regarding to this video or any other videos that I've posted in the past. If you have any video that you would like me to make, please let me know. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. There's a very well-known Cantonese barbecue dish called barbecue pork. It's also known as char siu. Now, I have tried to make char siu at home, and it turned out to be really good. So here is a video that you can see how it is made char siu. The char siu is made from pork, and it's made from a particular cut of pork. Usually it's the pork butt or pork shoulder, and it's provided excellent flavor because of the fat content in it. Now, char siu can be used for many different purposes. Of course, you eat it as it is, but it also people use it to make bun, char siu bao, which is one of the well-known bun that make from char siu, which it is stuffed in the middle of the bun. Now, another way to make char siu is to make char siu fried rice, which is one of the most popular char siu dish. Now, in here, I'm going to show you how to make a char siu fried rice. Now, basically, the process making up the fried rice is actually very simple. I use a basic fried rice template, but you can make changes to various aspects of this fried rice. One of the places that you can make change to is the egg. There are many ways to add egg to the fried rice. Now, of course, you can fry the egg first, and then you mix the fried rice and fry it together. Or you can fry the rice first, and then you add the egg. And the end result is that it will give you some difference. So I'm going to fry the egg first. I'm going to put some salt in it, and I also going to season it with my Walk with Tak basic seasoning mix. Now, this seasoning mix go really well with egg, and it go really well with this fried rice. And I'm going to use a little bit more later on. So basically, my goal in this particular fried rice dish is that I want the egg to be highly distinctive. I want to be able to taste the egg. And this is exactly how my wife likes it. So in here, instead of scramble the egg, I'm going to fry the egg in such a way that the pieces will stay pretty much intact as a bigger piece. And then I'm going to break it up with my wok spatula. Now, the reason for doing the egg like this is mainly because if you want the egg to stand out in the fried rice, and a lot of time this actually makes the fried rice far more interesting because this will create more distinctive texture, and this contrast make the dish more interesting. And next, I'm going to set the egg aside, and then now the next step is that I'm going to do the fried rice. Now, I have already seasoned the wok with my spot seasoning method. This will create a non-stick cooked surface. As you see here, there's no egg stick to the surface of the stainless steel wok. And using this method, it works really very effective in creating a non-stick cooked surface. And now I actually season the wok again. I let the oil to smoke for about 15 seconds before I add the ingredients. This is the time when the wok is being seasoned. The step in doing this is really important because this will prevent the rice from sticking to the surface of the wok. One of the most important aspects in making a good fried rice is the rice itself. The rice has to be dry, and the best way to dry the rice is to put them in the refrigerator for about 24 hours or longer. Now, actually, rice has a pretty good shelf life. You can store rice in the refrigerator for up to about 10 days. And so a lot of time, I will always cook extra rice. And the nice thing about rice is that it warms up readily in the microwave oven. And in fact, the rice that are cooked warm up in the microwave oven tastes almost as good as you freshly cook. Now, the rice is pretty hard to break up. Here I use a tool which is known as the hamburger meat smasher. Basically, this tool frequently is used for break up hamburger meat, and this is frequently for when you make spaghetti sauce or when you make chili and you want to break up the ground beef. And when it's used for breaking up the fried rice, it works extremely well. Okay, now the rice has been broken up, and the next step is that I'm going to switch to the wok spatula. And of course, the wok spatula is easier to fry the rice, and you can use the wok spatula like a shovel, and you can turn the rice over. Now next, here I'm adding some, actually they're cauliflower stems. This are some cauliflower I purchased, and after I took off the floret, I have the stem left there. And they actually make really good fried rice by chopping them up. And when you cut them up small, they really fit very well into the fried rice. And the next step is that I'm going to add some king oyster mushroom. Now, I already have this prep, and so both of the cauliflower stem and the king oyster mushroom, all I need to do is to find them in the refrigerator. And the king oyster mushroom will do a good job in the fried rice as well. Now, the fried rice, in many ways, people say it is a catch-all dish, and in many respects, it is really true. You can use almost anything that you can put in the fried rice. However, you can make adjustment to the fried rice and to create the type of flavor and texture that you want. Now, making a fried rice can be easy, but at the same time can be a very fun and interesting activity because you can experiment with different type of food ingredients, and quite often you will find that it will create a type of contrast, make the fried rice really interesting. A lot of time people think of fried rice as a side dish, but in this case, for me, the fried rice is the main dish. I have worked on this fried rice quite a bit over the years, and I figured out how to make the fried rice that I really enjoy, and I would like the rice to be relatively dry. Okay, now the mushroom as well as the cauliflower are pretty much done, so I'm going to add the char siu. I cut up the char siu into small chunks so they will fit good into the fried rice. The char siu actually will give really nice flavor, and in this case you have a dish, you have some protein as well as vegetable also, and that's why it makes this dish a complete meal. Last step, I'm going to add the egg to the fried rice. Now right now you can stop right there. It's already make a pretty nice fried rice. I'm very happy with it, but I'd like to add a bit color to the fried rice. There are many different ways you can do it. For example, you can chop up some carrots to put it in. You can chop up some scallions. Anything that you can add color to the dish actually will make the dish more interesting. As we always say that we also eat with our eyes in addition to eat with our tongue with the taste. And so I decided I'm going to add some color, which is a quick way to do it is that I'm going to use some frozen vegetable mix. This is a frozen vegetable mix contain 4 different kinds of vegetable. As you can see here, it contains sweet corn, carrot, peas, as well as green bean. So it's very nice to add some color to this dish. Again, there are so many things you can do with a fried rice, so many variations, and ultimately, sky is your limit, and you're only restricted by your imagination or how you want to create this fried rice. Again, the fried rice is a template. As you notice that this is a template I use over and over again. All I have to do is to vary the ingredients in the fried rice. Now, there are many ways to season your fried rice. The way I like to season my fried rice is that I'm only use dry seasoning agent. For example, I'm going to use salt in this case, and I also going to use a little bit more of my basic seasoning mix. The basic seasoning mix will give the dish nice umami flavor. Now the egg, I have already used salt and the basic seasoning mix, and this will make the dish even more savory. Now you notice that I do not use any fluid in seasoning the fried rice. In the past, I used to use things like oyster sauce, hoisin sauce, or soy sauce, which is very popular in a restaurant. But I find that I like the rice to have distinct quality in terms of when I eat it, the kernels are distinct and separate. Now, once you add any sort of a fluid and moisture to it, you will change that. And personally, I much prefer the rice to be dry rather than to be too wet. Now, quite often, if you want to have a little bit more moisture to the fried rice, one thing I have been using, which I find it quite successful, is to use some cooking wine. I will add a small amount of Shaoxing cooking wine, and that will really make the rice taste really savory. Now, of course, you can also add a touch of oyster sauce or hoisin sauce or soy sauce. All of those with different combinations will give you different outcome. But personally, I rather not to use any sauce. I like the rice to be dry. I still remember one time I went to a Japanese restaurant, and they serve a fried rice. And I remember after they brought the fried rice to the table, the waiter came with a bottle of sauce, and he just squirted sauce all over onto the rice. And the end result is that the rice becomes very soggy. And in fact, most people will find that a soggy fried rice is not a very pleasant experience. So when you set fried rice, actually the rice is supposed to be slightly fried. And so if you put fluid in it, even if you have fried it, it will not have that crispy texture that you would find it associated with a good fried rice. But again, all of these are personal preferences. Different people have different individual desire or their taste preference, what it is like. Okay, so very simple, a basic template. And I post a video every day, and some people say, why did you post a video every day? Because I post a video of the food that I cook. What I want to really show people is that you can make home cooking as part of your daily routine, and they can be simple. What I show you is the dish that I actually cook, rather than in some other channels. People cook specific dish for the channel, not rather for their daily consumption. Okay, so if you'd like to learn more about my fast cooking system, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. So keep on cooking, and I will see you tomorrow.